Every single day, 3 million people power on some sort of console or system and sit down and play at least an hour of video games. Twitch, one of the most popular streaming services in the world, has over 7 million creators on the platform, and the majority of them make gaming content. Today, we're talking about gaming and if it's right for you where you're at in your life. First things first, I'm not here to tell you that video games are bad. You are here though because you have a relationship with video games that you think needs to change. I mean, look at the title. Look at the thumbnail, that's why you clicked on this video. I myself play video games. I enjoy a good grind on RuneScape every once in a while, and when a friend reaches out to me and they want to play a game, as long as it's free, I'm always willing to download it. I just don't give it all of my time. If you've seen the videos on this channel, by now you probably know that my brother and I, my brother behind the camera, we're entrepreneurs and we love to play video games. We used to play hours and hours of video games. When we all got locked down during quarantine, we played tons of Call of Duty with our friends that were all over the country. We had tons of fun. We also had a moment where we realized that this much time spent playing video games does not align with our priorities in life. And that's when things had to change. We had to start asking ourselves questions like, am I comfortable giving this many hours to a video game? Am I even enjoying playing this? When I get mad because I lost or because I got killed in a game, is this how I want to feel throughout my day and throughout my night? The answer to most of those questions pointed us in a direction where we didn't play as many video games. And now we love where we're at in life, and we still play a video game very rarely. So I've been playing video games my entire life. My mom introduced me to video games. We had people in our neighborhoods who were like the only people that had consoles. I can vividly remember a group of kids at one neighbor's house because he had a PlayStation and we were friends with his kids. I remember getting into the group chats in middle school, playing in high school when I should have done homework. And I also had moments in my life where I realized video games don't align with the goals that I have. The first time I had that moment was in college. So I was about 18 years old when I started college, and pretty much immediately, once classes started, I had no time for video games anymore. So my Xbox literally just sat there and gathered dust in my dorm room. Even the other 3 dudes I was living with, they didn't even touch the console either. We were all way too busy. And when we had free time, we went out and did things that were way more fun than playing video games all night. Now, after I dropped out of college, I had a lot more free time, so I did play a lot more video games. When I first moved here to Wisconsin 7 years ago, I didn't do anything. I didn't have anything going for me yet. I had to start my life over. I sold pretty much everything. I kept my Xbox, I kept a few pairs of clothes, and then I moved up here. In the downtime, when I was figuring out what I wanted to do, of course I played video games. And then once I figured out what I wanted to do, I started playing them less and less. It was progressive, you know? I go from playing them in the day and at night. Now I'm only playing them at night. Now I'm playing them every other night. Now I'm only playing them on the weekend. Eventually, I just stopped playing them. And then once the pandemic hit, years after that, that's when I was like, wait a second, this Call of Duty game is free. Fabio, we should be playing Call of Duty with our friends. So we downloaded the game and we started playing it, and that was a great time to play because it was appropriate. Nobody was really working. Fabio had a corporate job that he then got laid off from because he was playing too many video games. I'm kidding, that's not why. That's not why that happened. See, we laugh about it. It's all good. Now we get to do this. Shout out to that company that laid off my brother. What I'm getting at here is that there will be multiple times in your life where video games are appropriate and video games are not. And when you identify a moment in your life where they're not appropriate, just take a step back. Stop playing them as much. It's gonna be okay. They don't have to be gone forever. What this is called, the moment when you stop playing video games and focus on things that help you achieve goals, that's called growing up. In literary terms, it's called a coming of age moment. I recently had my own coming of age moment when I realized I can't sit down and play video games for like 2 hours. That's way too much time that I'm giving to playing a game. And so I don't do that anymore. And honestly, because of that, if I play more than an hour of video games at a time, I'm bored out of my mind and I want to go do something else. The point of this video was not to make it so that you think that video games are bad. They're not. They're appropriate at certain times and they're inappropriate in other times. And once you have that coming of age moment, you just gotta accept it. Don't try to push it away. Focus on what's calling you in life and go after that. And if that is video games, then hey, good for you. If you can make it work, go for it. I'm telling you now, if that does call to you, and you want to explore that option, you're gonna need to do something in the meantime to also make you money so that you can pay your bills. Unless you live with your parents, which is totally fine. It's a great way to save up for the future. It's all up to you. So whether you play video games or not, it's all up to you. Just make sure you're playing them when it's appropriate and you're not playing them when it's not appropriate. If you enjoyed this video and you want more content like this, then you should check out our video that we made all about dopamine.